Hello students, today I am going to discuss with you the computation of cost of capital. Computation of overall cost of capital of a firm involves computation of cost of specific sources of finance and computation of weighted average cost of capital. And today I am going to discuss with you the computation of cost of debt. A firm raises funds from two types of debt financing, that is irredeemable debt and redeemable debt. So we are going to compute the cost of capital of each of the debt, that is irredeemable debt and redeemable debt, individually. So let's calculate the cost of irredeemable debt. We can also call it as cost of perpetual debt. The cost of debt is the rate of interest payable on debt. So let us see that how this cost of debt is being calculated. So the formula to calculate before tax cost of debt is, I am denoting cost of debt by KDB, wherein D stands for debt, since we are calculating cost of debt, and B stands for before tax debt calculation, and here K is being denoted as the cost. So KDB stands for cost of debt before tax. So the formula for the same is denoted by I divided by P, where I is interest on debt and P stands for principal. Let me just tell you that from where this formula has been derived. As you all know that whenever a company issues a certain amount of debt, then the investor has to earn a particular amount of interest rate. Since in this case our debt is perpetual by nature, therefore we are going to earn perpetual interest every year up till the whole life of debt. That is, we are going to earn series of payments of interest. So if we wish to calculate the present value of these interests, then applying the formula of time value of money, it will stand to I1 divided by the cost of debt raised to power number of year, that's 1. Interest in the second year divided by the cost of debt by 2 years up till the whole life of debt. We also know that the interest rate earned by an investor by investing in debt remains same. Therefore, we can denote the series by I and whole of the denominator series by KD, and here we can write P. From this you can see that KDB, that is cost of debt before tax, will stand to I dividing by P, which is the formula of cost of debt before tax. However, in case the debt is raised at premium or discount, we should consider P as the amount of net proceeds received from the issue and not the face value of security. Therefore, the formula of cost of debt before tax will become I divided by NP, where NP stands for net proceeds. Once we are done with the calculation of before tax cost of debt, which we have denoted by KDB, we can easily calculate the cost of debt after tax. The after tax cost of debt may be calculated by using the formula of cost of debt before tax. We are denoting cost of debt after tax as KDA, where K stands for cost, D stands for debt, and A stands for after tax debt calculation. So the after tax cost of debt can be written as KDB, that is before tax cost of debt multiplied by 1 minus T, and here T stands for rate of tax. Now let's take an example to make cost of debt to be more clear to you. Let us suppose that a company A Limited issues rupees 50,000 8% debenture at a discount of 5%, and the tax rate applicable is 50%. We need to compute the cost of debt of capital. Now in this question, the interest on this debt is 8% of 50,000, which is equals to 4,000 Since the company has issued the debt at a discount, therefore we need to calculate the net proceeds in this question. So the net proceed can be calculated as 50,000, which is the principal value in this question, minus the discount. And here the discount is 5% of 50,000, which gives you a value of 47,500 after deducting a discount of 2,500. Applying the formula of cost of debt after tax, we can easily calculate the cost of debt before tax using the formula, which is interest rate divided by the net proceeds, which is 4,000 divided by 47,500. Now putting this in formula of cost of debt after tax, which is cost of debt before tax, which is 4,000 divided by 47,500 multiplying by 1 minus tax rate. Here the applicable tax rate is 50%. Here the applicable tax rate is 50%. Solving this, we will get the cost of debt after tax as 4.21%. Now let us calculate the cost of redeemable debt. Usually, the debt is issued to be redeemed after a certain period during the lifetime of a firm. Such a debt is known as a redeemable debt. The cost of redeemable debt capital may be computed by using yield to maturity, which is also been called as internal rate of return. In a simple sense, we call it as trial and error method. Instead of using this trial and error method, we have also one shortcut method for calculating the cost of redeemable debt, which we are going to discuss later on in this video. As you know that a redeemable debt is going to be redeemed after a particular number of years. But before that, every year the investor is going to earn a fixed rate of interest. Putting that on the number line, suppose the investor is going to earn a fixed rate of interest for next n years. After that, on same nth year, the debt is going to be redeemed, and we are going to denote this with the value of Vn. Suppose if the debt is going to be redeemed after say 5 years and the investor is going to earn the same rate of interest for the next 5 years, then it is going to look like this on number line, that is I1 for first year, interest rate 2 on second year, interest on third year, I4 for interest on fourth year, and likewise I5 on fifth year. But on fifth year, the debt is going to get redeemed. Therefore, we are adding a value of V5 for the fifth year. Using the formula of time value of money, we can easily calculate the present value of each of the inflows, which is I1 divided by 1 plus cost of debt raised to power 1 plus I2 cost of debt raised to power 2 up till or In 1 upon kd raised to power n. In this question, instead of In, we can also write I5. In the same year, the debt is being redeemed, therefore we are adding Vn and we are discounting it by 1 plus kd, that is cost of debt raised to power n. The formula can also be written as sigma t from 1 till n I t divided by 1 plus kd raised to power t and Vn upon 1 plus kd raised to power n. Now one can easily calculate the cost of debt denoted by kd in this question by using hit and trial method. Now let me make it more clear to you by using an example. Suppose if 5 years rupees 100 debentures of a firm can be sold for a net price of rupees 95.90. The coupon rate of interest is 14% per annum and the debentures will be redeemed at 5% premium on maturity. Now we need to compute the cost of debt. Now in this question, the interest is equals to rupees 14, that is 14% of 100, and the present value of debt is given as rupees 95.90. However, it's been given that the debt is going to be redeemed at a premium of 5%. Therefore, the redeemable value of debt will be 100 plus a premium of 5%. Therefore, the value of debt after 5 years will be 105. So, by using the formula, the present value of debt will be equals to the interest rate divided by the cost of debt of each of the year for next 5 years, and in the 5th year the debt is going to be redeemed. Therefore, the value V will be 105 and we are going to discount it with the cost of debt. Since both of the interest and redemption is being done in 5th year, therefore we are discounting the last inflow, that is the interest, and the redemption value, that is interest and the redemption value, with the same number of years. So here, by using the hit and trial method on KD, we can easily calculate the cost of debt. So by applying the different values of KD, we got that the value of cost of debt was equals to 16% in this question. By using the cost of debt to be 16%, we can see that the present value, that is 95.90, is exactly equals to the value of inflows occurring in different years. Once you have calculated the cost of debt before tax, you can easily calculate the cost of debt after tax by using the cost of debt before tax. So the formula is KDB multiplied by 1 minus T, same as in the case of perpetual debt. Suppose the rate of tax in this question has been given to rupees 35%, then the after tax cost of debt would have been 16, that is cost of debt before tax, multiplied by 1 minus cost of tax, that is 35%, and this will give you a value of 10.4%. In order to avoid the complex calculation of hit and trial method, one can also use a shortcut method for computing the cost of redeemable debt. And the formula to calculate the cost of debt before tax is, where I stands for interest, N stands for the number of years, NP stands for net proceeds, and RV stands for redeemable value of debt. But while using the shortcut method, one should remember that for calculating cost of debt after tax, one cannot calculate the cost of debt after tax just by writing KDA is equals to cost of debt before tax multiplied by 1 minus T. One should not use this formula while calculating the cost of debt after tax by using shortcut method. But in shortcut method, there is a separate formula for calculating cost of debt after tax, and that formula is I 1 minus T, here itself with I, and rest of the formula is same as above. So instead of multiplying 1 minus T with whole of the formula of cost of debt before tax, you need to multiply 1 minus T with interest rate only. So the students can use these formulas to avoid the complex calculation of hit and trial method, so that they can calculate the cost of redeemable debt quite easily. Thank you.